This is what a $2,300 bankroll looks like on GG Poker, and this is what a typical winning poker graph looks like. And in today's video, we're going to review exactly how we grew that bankroll, hands we've played, hands we've lost, and let's just get right into the bankroll challenge update. As you can see here, guys, this is our monthly graph at all 50. We've only played 18,000 hands so far, so a little short on volume, but we are up 1,200 over those 18,000 hands. Now, this is a pre-rake graph and pre-rake back, so all the bonuses and rake back is not included in this, but neither is the rake. Um, so it does track your actual winnings against other players. So you'd have to take the rake off and then add the rake back on to get your um, true win rate. And I think there's an argument on what is included in win rate these days. But given the nature of GG Poker and its extremely high rate system and very good rewards program, I think you really just need to combo it all together to come up with your actual win rate, those levels, if you want to get into that. But so that's how I look at it. And generally speaking, this graph is pretty close to tracking your real win rate, assuming you place decently on leaderboards. Um, then it tracks it pretty well. Like your win rate here is not quite as high as it actually is when you have in rate back from bonuses and stuff. But that can also change too. Like if you hit a bad beat jackpot, then this is significantly lower than what your win rate would actually be. But then again, if you've played a ton of hands without hitting a bad beat jackpot, then it might be actually just bang on where it should be, right? So yeah, so over the month we're at 1,200 here, which is probably about actually maybe 1,000 over the month after rake back and bonuses and taking rake off and stuff. So overall, pretty good. Um, for only playing 18,000 hands. So that puts our win rate after rake back and bonuses and all that stuff somewhere around like 8 to 9 BBs per 100, which is really high. Um, so we're really happy about that. And as you can see here, we've done really well with aces and horribly. Oh, better actually get all the numbers here. Okay, so obviously, our premium holding pocket aces is going to be your biggest winner. That's pretty standard. We haven't run great with kings over these last 20,000 hands. I think I've run kings into aces a few times, and we also ran kings into ace king and got spiked quite a few times. So, uh, kind of expected to see that. But if you look at this, you can kind of see your, if you were to take a chart and look at your opening hand ranges, it's pretty obvious. You can see why we open certain hands. With the exclusion of pocket fives here, you can see like deuces to aces and kings. But generally speaking, deuces to aces are all profitable. All your premium hands here that you play from pretty much any position, like ace 10 and up, ace 10 suited, king queen, king jack, king 10 suited, queens, jacks, queen 10, jack 10. All these types of premium hands are all profitable, as well as the ace 5, ace 4 suited hands. And then everything else kind of just like is almost like a break even type hand. Um, some of these you see these like suited connectors like 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. They're usually pretty profitable as well. Um, but if you're not like three betting enough with them and the big blind and stuff, then they'll pretty quickly lose a lot of the equity because you just end up calling and then check folding a little too many flops. Um, but yeah, you can kind of see clear day here that like these premium holdings, uh, are pretty much where all your value comes from, and then a lot of the other hands that you raise with and three bet with and that kind of stuff are essentially to uh, gain that little bit of EV from them, but a lot of uh, the purpose behind three betting light and stuff like that is to drive opponents to play with you when you actually have pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, jacks, stuff like that with your premium holdings. And it's not so much to try to spike off somebody out of the pot. It's really just you're using these other hands to widen your range enough that people will play with you. So when you do have aces, you can actually make money with them. Because if you just three bet aces, kings, queens, nobody's going to do anything but fold when you three bet, and you'll never make any money with them. So overall, a pretty standard looking chart with a couple of outliers for a pretty short sample of only 20,000 hands. And as you can see here, positional play. Let's just actually get all the 20,000 hands in here. So from positions, you can see the small blind, we're actually losing significantly more than I would like. Middle position's down, but it's just a short and a small sample, so you can't read too much into this stuff. Um, but if you really take a look at it, button and cutoff, in position and late position are going to be your number one winners, and then you usually win less and less as you work your way towards under the gun and big blind, small blind, right? So as you can see here, middle position, usually you would see a profit. Big blind, you would usually see a loss. Small blind, yeah, you see a loss there. That's expected. You're never going to be winning in the big blind and small blind long term. Um, Obviously, your goal is to just lose as little as possible in those positions, and then you should be profiting under the gun, middle position, cutoff, and button, like long term, right? And button should obviously be your most profitable position, and under the gun would be your least profitable position, and that really just comes down to how many hands you can play, and being in position is extremely valuable in no limit hold'em. And it's kind of shown pretty clear as day here. Like even you know the button and the cutoff are more than double under the gun win rate, right? Um, so that's pretty standard. And in my experience, you should be somewhere around 25 to 30 big blinds per 100 on the button, and then you could pretty much just take like five bigs off of that for each position. So say 25 button, 20 cutoff, 15 middle position, um, and then around 10 BBs under the gun, and then your big blind, anything that's under 30, anything where you're losing less than 30 big blinds per 100 in the big blind is pretty successful. And small blind, you should be right around 15 BBs per 100 is a really good rate, but anything around that is pretty good, especially as you're, improving your game and kind of moving forward. Um, so that's been pretty good. And while we're here, we might as well check out which guys are kind of destroying us. So over the month, we're up pretty good on a few players. Um, this Cash Money, I'm actually surprised because I feel like he usually gets the best of me, but looks like in this case we are up on him long term over the month, and a lot of Pringles too. That's just a little surprising. Ruby Jones, I'm not surprised to see that I'm down for a buy into him over the month. I feel like he usually gets the best of me, or I just kind of run into his hands a lot of the time. And then everybody else is just, yeah, Sick Lucker. He's a good player. He grinds a gajillion hands every single month, so that's not overly surprising either. Um, but yeah, overall, pretty good. Pretty good month. Pretty happy with everything. Our current bankroll is $2,358. Um, so things have been going really good. We're going to continue on and hopefully get some more volume in. I'd like to be moving to NL 100 by the end of the month, but we're only like 8, 9 days away. So I'm going to need to buckle down and play at least a few thousand hands a day to get there. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a comment, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.